Welcome everyone to la chaîne Géopolitics. We continue talking about how the vaccine can be used as the soft power tool. So yesterday we used the Chinese example. Today we will talk about the Russian one, how the Russian authorities are using the Russian vaccine Sputnik V as a soft power tool in its geopolitical and diplomatic relationship with the rest of the world. So Russia as a candidate vaccine, to for the to let's say to fight against the virus. This week, we learned that the effectivity rate of this vaccine has been set at 91% by the Lancet review, which is probably one of the most reliable scientific review in the world. So the fact that now we have some reliability about this vaccine push countries to order, let's say, this vaccine. And this week we have seen a number of countries which has been received, let's say, this Russian Sputnik V vaccine, like, for example, Palestinian territories, Venezuela, Iran, Argentina earlier last week, receive all those vaccines, and many other countries will receive it. So it shows us that even the poor countries who are unable to pay, which would have been without any strong relationship with Russia, would have been, let's say, have been compelled to use the COVAX system, which has been set up by the World Wide Health Organization for countries who are unable to be supplied with vaccine. But those countries like Palestine, which is on the verge of bankruptcy or on bankruptcy, like Venezuela, who are still unable to pay its importation, are still able, let's say, to import the vaccination due to, let's say, the strategic relationship between Venezuela and Russia, and it will, due to this strategic relationship, it will get 10 million doses. The Palestinian Authority got this today 10,000 doses from the laboratory Gamia, who has developed the Sputnik V. The Islamic Republic of Iran, which declared earlier this month that is banning all importation from the United States and the United Kingdom vaccines, meaning the AstraZeneca, the Pfizer, and the Moderna vaccines. So they decided instead of using the Sputnik V vaccine, and today the 10,000 doses has been shipped to the Islamic Republic of Iran. Also, over the next day, 2 million doses will be received by Hungary, because the Hungarian medication authority, instead, unlike the European one, has decided to approve it. So it's actually, from a regulatory point of view, it's totally allowed in case of urgency, which is the case right now, unless it bears the responsibility in case of any wrongdoing or any, let's say, side effect of the vaccine. But due to the fact that now a European Union country like Hungary will receive the Russian Sputnik V vaccine, some other countries, due to the delay of the delivery of the AstraZeneca and the Pfizer vaccines, have decided maybe that it's maybe time that the EMA, so the European Agency of Medication, will review and perhaps approve this vaccine. In that way, it will be the fourth vaccine to be approved by this European agency, after the Pfizer, the Moderna, and the AstraZeneca ones. So meaning it's now would be there would be much more choice for the European Union countries to get a vaccine, and to, let's say, to reduce the delay of the vaccination. And that, in that way, Russia will clearly strengthen its relationship its relationship and perhaps even to strengthen its showdown without the European Union. I mean, tomorrow, just not to enter too much into details, the chief of the European Union diplomacy, Josep Borrell, will be in Moscow. And we know that there is a very tense right now relationship between the European Union and Russia. We are talking about further additional sanctions against Russia due to the treatment of the main opponent to Vladimir Putin, Alexei Navalny. He has been jailed 3 years in imprisonment. And probably the fact that Russia is able to supply the European Union with its vaccination will make much more difficult, let's say, to impose sanctions to the Federation of Russia. So we see that it's much more than more. It's clearly different than the Clausewitz strategy, which thinks that the best, let's say, strategy in the showdown is force. But actually, in this way, let's say the vaccination, instead of bringing more sanction and more pains to Russia, is that's why the Russian is using the vaccine as a soft power, which enables him to be protected from further sanction from the European Union or from other countries in the world. Also, what we can say is that Russia is also developing the same strategies as the Popular Republic of China, meaning that this vaccination will not be only produced in the Federation of Russia, but also in other countries. Currently, it's being produced in South Korea and in India, Venezuela, and perhaps later in Popular Republic of China. The idea is clearly to strengthen relationship with some countries and to, let's say, to increase also the possibility of production in order that the production beats the other candidate vaccination. Also, we see that some countries who are faithful to Russia, like Popular Republic of Donetsk and Lugansk, will receive also the Sputnik V vaccination, unlike Ukraine, which will get, as we said yesterday in the video, the CoronaVac one, the second Chinese vaccine, and not the one developed by Sinopharm, but the one developed by Sinovac, which is much more less reliable, which is, according to clinical trials, around 50-60%. But due to the fact that Ukraine has been caught between Russia and has developed very, let's say, poor relationship, not to say more. Let's say Ukraine will not get those vaccination. Even the Ukrainian authorities, let's be frank, do not want also the Russian vaccination. They prefer other vaccination, so they have decided de facto to ban the Russian vaccination. But the problem is Ukraine, due to its poor financial situation, is not able to buy vaccination from other laboratories right now, and only CoronaVac will ship to Ukraine, and only very few doses. We are talking, I think, about something like 10,000, 20,000, so very few compared with the population of Ukraine, which is around 41 million. So Ukraine will need much more shipments of vaccination to, let's say, to vaccinate more of its population, and probably Ukraine will be also one of the beneficiary of the COVAX system, and let's recall the system which has been set up by the WHO to, let's say, for low-income countries. So it shows, and Ukraine shows to the rest of the world that it has to use the COVAX system while having good relationship. It avoids using the COVAX system, like for example, Palestinian territories, Venezuela, or even Argentina. So clearly, faithful Russia show that being faithful to Russia pays as you get those vaccination, and so Russia will, like that, will yield, let's say, grow its influence over the rest of the world thanks to the vaccination.